इस खेल का निर्देशक कोई भी हो, लेकिन इस ड्रामे का अंतिम सीन हम लिखेंगे।
Manoj sir, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on filmeshilmy.com, and congratulations on Silence 2, which is streaming soon on ZEE5.
Right.
Look, I mean, when it comes to you playing cops and playing someone who is part of the special forces of the country, I mean, you are no stranger to that.
Right.
And I think, obviously, even in the first part, you played that role very beautifully. But what excites you, or what phases you the most, would you say, as well, simultaneously, when you are playing a cop, at this juncture of your career?
I mean, look, what excites me is my job. It's something I love the most. I'm the happiest when I'm prepping for the character. I'm the happiest when I'm going to the shoot. It's My happiness knows no bounds. I mean, it's sheer. It's I call it a love story between me and my craft, which is never ending, and it's so beautiful. I'm into when I'm in my zone. I just love that. I love being with the character till I really feel that okay, it's done now. It's a wrap for my character. I can move on from here. Till then, it's a roller coaster ride. It's a journey of with lot of unsurety and doubts whether it will fall right or not, whether that pitch was right or not, if I'm going in the right direction or not. It's a continuous exploration that's happening, which really gives me a good night's sleep when I go back and crash. Okay, so I just love it. I just love being there. And then if you have a good script in your hand and a character, a who done it kind of a mystery thriller. I've never been part of. Silence One was the first for me. Then it becomes a lot more exciting. That is the genre you're dealing with for the first time.
Indeed, and congratulations on such a game-changing year last year. We did quite a few interviews actually as well, and spoke about two of your most, very sort of genre-defining or sort of game-changing parts of titles of your filmography, which is obviously Banda and of course Joram, but both which were with Z as well. And I think in there, and if we look at, I mean, I have just literally watched the Silence 2 trailer as well. It deals with a sense of mentally disturbed individuals. Um, where in Banda you were basically confronting or fighting against a very, a very disturbed or menacing presence, and in Joram you were escaping it.
No, no, I just love it. We are starting with Gulmohar, where my character was dealing with the fact that he's not the real son and he's an adopted one, and he's not being given the rightful place in the family after having so much for the family. Then Banda, it's someone who is a very common man, a small time lawyer fighting against the most powerful people. Um, and then Joram, well, my character comes from the marginalized community, uh, trying to save himself and the little child. Uh, when I'm doing such diverse roles, coming from diverse world, uh, and by the end of the year, you feel good. You feel
Mm,
good that you really climbed up this steep mountain, right? And if you do one character from these three, you still feel such an achievement. And I have done three, Anuj. uh, three of
yes.
these films came last year. So for me, it has been a fantastic year. And I am not an actor who is running away from any character.
Right.
um, I am looking for more. I'm always looking for more and more challenging ones, more diverse roles, more roles coming from different world, a world people have not seen. like Banda, Gulmohar, and Joram. These are these three worlds people have never seen before, uh, and those kind of conflicts, right? So for me, it's a great achievement.
Oh, absolutely. It's tremendous. And I'm so glad we've got to see that and be a part of that journey as well. But I think just to follow up on the sort of the menaces that we saw, I mean, even if we look at Nina Gupta's character in the first Silence, it was very spine chilling. But at the same time, it made us really kind of a bit understand to, how injustice for someone can really tip someone off the edge. Uh, and I think when it comes to mentally disturbed characters, I think it's a very wonderful, case study. Even if we look at some of your roles that you did, like in films like Ux, for example. Um, so how do you think, when you are navigating these characters and these stories, how has it helped you to understand one's psychology and perhaps the socio economical backgrounds that these people come from as well?
It's very no, it's very important for an actor to be updated, and to read on all kind of things, all the happenings all the time. An actor should be educating himself quite a lot, and this has been my education from my theater days, from my graduation days. uh, we are always looking at the socio-economic aspect of each and every individual. We are always trying to define the character, from the community or the strata that he's coming from, right? Because when you do that, you are adding a lot more color to to the character, and also making it very, you know uh, um, mm, real, which is very important. People should feel that, it- people should feel the skin of the character. They should be able to see the sweat of the character. They should be able to the- feel that, he's not somebody who is away from me. He's like me, and he's achieving this. Okay, and that's how you make them part of the journey, right? So that's a process. I mean, each and every character uh, needs to be achieved, uh, not through only one method. So I keep innovating, my new methods to reach the crux of the character, to find those little details about the characters. And one of them is the backstory. Backstory is a must. It's a must, with each and every character that one plays.
Hmm. And I think what's also very special is not only have you had a very career-defining year in 2023, but this year also marks, I can't believe it, 30 years in the business for you since you actually made your acting debut in a, full-fledged role. I mean, through Bandit Queen. And I think it's amazing how to see that journey as you have evolved. But आपकी खूबी क्या है मनोज sir? And I remember we in an interview that we did for Banda as well. He says that, you don't necessarily have to adapt yourself. It's not a conscious thing for you to live the life of an armed junta, of an ordinary person,
Yeah.
right? For you, it's something you've lived that life. You've had that experience. And
Yeah.
I think for what is happening now, especially when I observe certain films that are doing well or certain actors who are trying to sort of experiment themselves, is that when they do a realistic character, for them, realistic now is almost a criteria. It's almost a conscious thing for them to do, which is understandable if they come from a different sort of, like you said, a strata. But what do you think about the way realistic cinema has evolved from when you obviously began and had that amazing growth, even through films like Satya, to now, with when we see almost realism commercialized, if I can say so?
Yes, you're so right. Yes, realism is commercialized. Now we are trying. We are only trying to follow a formula that we have, come up with. We also, somewhere, because we are always looking for formula in our films, to make our life easier. Oh, okay. So these couple of films have done very well. They were rooted in a uh, small town. So let's go ahead and write few more stories, which is rooted in or based in small town, and let's make it a realistic film. But even in those formula realistic films, it is always little elevated. It is always there is always an elevation, and there's an illusion of realism which is being served to you. What is realism is when you can smell the sweat of the character, when you can feel the wrinkles of the character, when you are when Dasru is on the run with his Joram, you it's not Dasru who is on the run, it's you who is on the run. If a film or the realism part of that film is able to make you feel that it's you who is on the run, it's you who is fighting the case, it's you who is taken away the space in the family, then you are succeeded. In like in 12th fail, this is what you felt.
Yeah.
You felt the pain, you you felt as if you are the one who is in that small factory, cooped up in that dark room. Okay, if the film is able to make you feel that, connect to that, then then it's called a realistic film, not an illusion of realism where there is a distance between the screen or whatever is happening on the screen and the audience.
So true. It's so, so true. I absolutely agree with you. I think it's quite wonderful that you've got Silence 2 as well now coming. You had Killer Soup as well earlier, which was again another very distinct work of yours. Um, Being 30 years old in this business, what would you say is your proudest achievement actually in these 30 years? So two parts really, regrets, and what would you say is the proudest achievement?
Anuj, you know what is there are two things I can think of right now. One, that I could be able to survive for 30 years in an industry which was so conventional, and they didn't have anything for an actor like me. They really didn't know what to do with Manoj Bajpayee when I was starting out. I was neither a hero nor a villain. They could not think of me uh, as in anything, in those formula films. And then second, my biggest achievement is that I stuck to my guns. I stuck to my terms. I stuck to my dream. I never compromised with it. I think these two things are my biggest achievement. Uh, and also, third thing I can say that I've contributed a little bit in being part of the changing moments of this industry.
Oh, definitely. And I'm sure you will continue to be a very pivotal part of that going forward. But unfortunately, we have run out of time, Manoj. But it's always so, so wonderful to hear your insights about cinema, about your acting processes. And I can't wait for audiences to check out Silence 2, streaming on ZEE5 Global very soon. So thank you so much for joining us on Filme Shilmy, and wishing you all the very best.
Thank you very much. Always lovely talking to you, Anuj, and hope to see you soon.
Definitely, sir, for sure. Thank you, sir. Take
Thank
care.
you.